Greetings and salutations, my lovely Loonies. It's awesome to be here again. We are sadly having to record because my son was very loud the last time I tried. He is thankfully asleep and is finally much more peaceful, so I can go ahead and record again. And don't get me wrong, I am absolutely happy to be a mom, and it has brought me so much joy and happiness, and it's what has made me to want to improve and do more with myself and do more with my life, and just want to be as well and as good and as great of a role model as I absolutely can be for that tiny little ball of joy that just looks up at me and warms my heart every day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be an advertisement for being a parent. I'm just saying that me, as a parent, I love it as much as it gives me a headache. And it's just made me so happy to be one, and just has made me want to improve and do better for myself, like with getting therapy and being on medication now, because I am on a mood stabilizer for Abilify and with Lexapro for anxiety and depression. But in taking those, my mind has become so much more stable. It's become so much more easier to do things like this podcast and to do my YouTube recordings for Minecraft, and just wanting to do future gameplays and just being excited about it, and being thrilled to actually have my ambitions back and know that they're not weighed down, or I have to wait for an extremely manic state or happy state to want to do anything at all. And it has just been amazing to be able to do so, and also just being able to get closer to my family again and talking to my therapist about it and actually wanting to improve my life there. Feel not so secluded and alone, because that was something that I did a lot without even really realizing it, and it hurt me a lot, because I was just sort of out in my own little island and didn't know where to go, what to do, who to talk to, who to be around, who I could trust, and it was just really hard. And it felt like the only person I could be around and trust was my boyfriend Curtis, and I still don't want him to feel like he's the only one who can help me and that's always around. And so that's why I have just fought so hard to be the improvement in my life that I am, because I know that if I continued down the path that I was going, I would just run everyone off. And that's just not something I wanted to do and was really looking forward to at all. So it was just wonderful to start doing it. And with doing this, it's also made me and my mom a lot closer again. And that is something that really makes me happy, because for a while we were really, really estranged. And even regardless of what went on, she still accepted me. She still accepts me for who I am. And it's just a wonderful feeling, knowledge and power to know that, the person who birthed you loves you no matter what, and will accept you no matter what's going on, how close you are, how far apart you are, just physically, emotionally. They're just always there and going to be there and remain there. And that's just an awesome, awesome feeling. And for those of you who are out there who may not really have that right now, my heart goes out to you, because I know that it's such a thing to be lost and to miss. And it was heartbreaking being so estranged and separated from my mom so much. And it was mostly because of my great-grandparents raising me for a large portion of my life. I never really got to know the woman, and when I finally did, it was as an adult, and let's just say things didn't go as according to plan. But it has gotten so much better now. And the fact that she accepts me, it feels great. And it feels great to be able to accept her and all her flaws and all her perfections and everything else in between. Because I miss this woman so much. I am essentially like a tiny photocopy of her. Well, not really tiny. When I was a little kid, I was like a tiny photocopy. Now I'm just a photocopy. If anything, I'm bigger than her. But it's still just amazing because I love her and I missed her like crazy. And essentially, my mom is like my twin almost because of just how we speak, how we understand one another, how we get one another on a weird level. And it's just really awesome to be able to have that and to have it again. And just because if I were to say that I'm Wiccan or pagan, which is something that I want to be, she would just make a joke in a friendly way because she just knows me and knows that that is something I would be comfortable with. If I were to walk up to her and say, hey, I'm non-binary, pansexual, demi-pansexual, and my new name is Luna, and Narisha is my dead name, it may break her heart a little bit, but she would accept it. And I say that Luna is my new name and Narisha is my dead name because that is true. And I want my name to be Luna Jenna. For that factor, and really actually legitimately change it so that way I can start putting it on applications. I can start doing more with it, being around more people who are of me and things like that, and feel more comfortable within my own skin. Because sometimes it's just really nerve-wracking to just feel accepted by my family. But that's not as difficult anymore, but it's something I still do worry about even to this day. And it's just nice to know that both me and my mom would be able to understand one another because, we both black sheep know that we gotta quote unquote black sheep. We both know that we gotta stick together because my mom is a bit of an outcast from the family as well. And that's just sort of something that binds us and combines us a little bit more. And it just makes me happy to kind of know that I have a brothers in arms. I got my Clyde, my Bonnie. And it's just awesome because I've just admired her strength for so long and just being able to move and truck forward. And I wanted to be able to do that in a bit of a different way and still be able to grow and improve like I know I should and should be able to. And it's just nice being able to know that having her around just kind of gives me a little bit of an extra bit of strength, and it makes me smile. It makes me really happy just to know that that woman is around and I can always depend and count on her. And it's just awesome in itself. And it's one thing that I did talk to my therapist about, because for a while people used to say, you look like your mom, you sound like your mom, you're just like your mom. And it would really upset me. It would annoy me because I wanted to be my own person. I wanted to be separate from that and separate from her, not realizing I could be like her and be of her and be around her, but still be my own being and my own person, and still be that strength that I wanted to be in myself, and know that it came from me, but was also role modeled by the person that I saw it come from first. And, not be a bad thing. So it's just where I hope I get my strength and everything from now today, because with that strength I wish to become Wiccan, or at least within the pagan culture, because I used to love, or still love, shows like Charmed, Angel, Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I loved anything supernatural or anything like that, but especially when it was a strong female role. And also, I had a crush on the female leads. Didn't realize I did at the point. I just thought they were cool, but they still are cool. But I also had a crush on them. And Charmed was a big benefactor of that. And that's also kind of where I knew I started to fall in love with witchcraft just a little bit more. It felt more grounded, even in its supernatural states. It felt more like it could be real, and that gave me hope. And I didn't understand that I needed that hope, because in my own family and all of that, it was hard being in a Black Baptist church sort of household and family, because you would have pray away the gay sessions. Anything that wasn't holy was of the devil, so witchcraft was definitely of the devil back then, which I now know is not the case. It's completely far from. But I do also understand and realize now that that is something that I truly want to be a part of. And it makes me want to grow more in it. And having things like Korea.com as well as Glitch Bottle, and just knowing I can look up anything with Josephine McCarthy now, all because of Forrest and our podcast together and our talks together. It's just been amazing. And I feel like you could go on more and more about that, and hopefully I can get him on one more time to go a little bit more in depth about certain things. But it's just been an amazing, wonderful ride, going up and down, and just being able to understand that, as well as my own pansexuality that used to be bisexual, and not even realizing that. And just also understanding that self-discovery can be really hard. It can be really difficult, and you may not be ready for what you may find, and that it can be a very scary thing, but a very fun thing at the end of the day as well. And they kind of go hand in hand, because the more you understand about yourself, the more you want to dive in and do what you love and what you truly enjoy, and just wanting to expand and extend yourself out to those branches of life. And I know I keep repeating myself, but it is just a wonderful and a beautiful thing. I know this podcast is a little short this time around. It was last time as well. But I do just want to thank you guys so much for being a part of it and just letting me ramble on for a little bit. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this little bit and getting to know me just a little bit more. But I love you guys so much. Don't forget to follow, and so that way you can still stay healthy, safe, lovely, and Luuney. I know I did make it sound and seem like I was heading out, but I did just also want to go a little bit more in depth about me and the LGBTQ, because that is just something that was very hard for me to figure out. It wanted to feel like I could actually open up about, because of the way that my family was. And knowing that my mother, at least at one point, was a lesbian, and she's still figuring her own self out, even to this day. But it was very, very hard to feel like I could be a part of that family and that particular origin, just because of the fact of not knowing if I could fully be myself. It's what had me become so sad and closed off, because I knew even at a particularly young age that there were things a little bit more different with me, and I didn't know how to express them, but I also knew that if I expressed them, they'd be bad, at least there. And so it just made it harder to want to be able to be open and to express myself and to be the person that I am today. But I did find outlets like drawing, crocheting, singing, just writing books, songs, and poetry. It was just a beautiful outlet for me. And also just making my own clothes and sewing them together. just doing anything I could to feel comfortable in my own skin and to feel as if it was just me and me alone being able to express and do these things. And that is just a very hard concept to really come across when you still don't fully know who you are and what you want to do. So just really getting to expand and express myself more made it so much more of an understandable and wonderful thing once I got to do it as an adult. But realizing that all my name changes and things like that, and talking to my therapist were because of my non-binary nature, and just figuring that out and really not getting to expand on it and understand it and really claim who I am until 26, 27 years old. And that is just one thing I mean. It doesn't matter what age you are, how long it takes. Find yourself, understand yourself, figure out what it is you truly want in this life and who you are in this life. Don't let anyone tear you down or hold you back from what should be the inevitable for you. Your inevitable could be 100% different from someone else's. And that doesn't mean it's wrong or right. It just means it's for you. It's you and it's yours and no one else's. And you should just claim it and own it and rock it to the ends of the earth. Because there is so much beauty and wonder and power that can come behind that. And it's like I was talking about before, and just your self-discovery, discovering who and what it is that you want to do and about yourself. It gives you that strength and that power that you never knew you could have. And that power is something that no one should be it should be nothing that no one should be able to ever, and I mean ever, take away from you. And please heed this and understand what I mean, because you are wonderful, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are amazing. You have the strength to do anything that you want to do in this life. And there is nothing that will get in your way so long as you make it so. Am I saying truly step over everyone in your path to get there? Not so much, because some of those people may be able to help you out and understand you just a little bit more. Even those that may not be able to 100% understand, help them to be able to. Because I feel like on your path to discovery and self-discovery and gaining that power, there's also some beauty that can come in understanding others and getting that understanding from others in a nice, beautiful, and healthy way. You may not always end up or turn out the way that you would have hoped, but it's still an amazing and wonderful thing just to know that you can be able to do, and you have the power to be as wonderful and as positive as you absolutely can be. And just owning that strength and healing. And just healing yourself from whatever negative or toxic energy that may be going on around you and in your life. Because that is just another difficult thing that can go on with you that you may not know is hurting you. And that's something that I had to find out for myself going through therapy. And I know I keep talking about therapy this and therapy that, but therapy has helped me immensely. Because I did not know that there were so many things that I just held on to and stuck with, and just made excuses for why I could not grow or improve. I was too afraid to see myself in a new and healthier light. And that honestly broke my heart for the longest time, to realize I was afraid to grow for a little bit. And I think that happens with all of us. We're all just afraid to grow at times because we're afraid to lose that person that we used to be, that we already know, that's already there. But the thing we need to realize at times is that the person that we truly used to be may not be the best person for us to remain as. Because it could just be holding us down and keeping us from something that's a lot more wonderful, a lot more beautiful, a lot more of a comfortable setting for us to truly be in. And that is just something I wanted to go ahead and branch out and say a little bit more of, because I know that the first segment of this is a little short. It'll seem a little weird. This one's a little weird this time because a lot of my recording software wasn't going the way I wanted to. Not everything had went the way it was planned. I technically have another recording that's about 30 minutes long, but just doesn't want to work. So having to redo everything and get everything out to you guys just the way I hope and plan and always forever want to be able to do. Because I do love that you guys are here and that you listen to my podcast, however many or few that you are. It warms my heart to know that I can branch out and talk to so many people, so few people, and just help them and help you all to maybe see things in a little bit more of a different way. And it's just really fun, in my opinion, to be able to do so. And it's also just a wonderful feeling to know that you can do it. My friend Elfie, she had decided not to do her podcast, which does break my heart a little bit, because the couple of times that I had her on here seemed like she just is able to command the mic, command the room. And I think that has a lot to do with her theater background. And I want to know more about it. I want to know what made her fall in love with theater and musical theater so much. And I just want to be able to talk more in depth with her about everything. But she has a lot more going on in her life. She's about to be married, which is a beautiful thing. It makes me so happy to see her so happy. And she has a new home. She has her fur baby to take care of. She has a new job. And that's just a whole lot to have to deal with and move forward with. So sadly, she won't be on as many podcasts as I thought we would have been with together. And it does make me sad. It brings a little tear to my eye. But I also have happy tears for her because she is still such an amazing soul and has so much going on. And just the ambition she had to even want to do a podcast is still awesome and commemorable. And I can do nothing but salute the beautiful woman for even wanting to in the first place. And for her bit of little discovery and self-discovery was finding out that this was a little too much for her right now. Hopefully it'll change later down the line and you can get to hear Elfie once a week, twice a week, whatever the case is. Like you get to hear me twice a week. But it's still just awesome to just be a part of her life and be her friend, be her sister from another mister, which honestly makes me miss my sister a whole lot. And I know I don't talk to her as much as I should or could. And that's all on me. No one else but me. And I have to fix that. I have to rectify that. I have to get in contact with her here pretty soon because I do miss that girl. I miss that lady. Need to figure out what's going on with her and maybe even get her on the podcast for a little bit too. And get to hear us and our lovely, horrific banter. You'll either laugh or wonder what is going on in our brains to make us be this way. It's about all I can say without saying too much. But me and my little sister, we didn't get to grow up with each other, at least not for an extended length. I only got to be in her life fully for about 4 or 5 years of her life before we had gotten separated. She was living with her dad. I was living with my great-grandparents. And that's for, in my opinion, very selfish reasons for why we could not be together. And honestly, looking at it as an adult with a child, yeah, it was extremely selfish for what her father did and her grandmother did, because her grandmother is not my grandmother, because we're not related by blood whatsoever. But the great-grandparents that I have are also hers because they're of her mother's, our mom. But moving aside from that, it was just an extremely selfish thing because I couldn't see my little sister anymore unless it was the summer. And then after a while, that even ended because of just petty reasons. And being a kid, you don't understand, and you don't really want to understand. You just want to be around your sibling. You want to be around the people that you know, that you've been comfortable with, that you understand, and you don't understand why you can't anymore. And it just, as a kid, it breaks your heart. And as a parent and as an adult, it should break your heart too, to just see two siblings separated the way that they are, and knowing how close they should be. So I just want to implore those out there who potentially have kids and you're going through something similar that I just described, please keep your children in mind, because they should be the most important thing in your mind and in the forefront of your brain when this goes on. Because not being able to be around my sister, it made me cry. It broke my heart. It still breaks my heart. So just please keep that in mind for a little bit. But I do believe that is going to be the end of my ramblings for today, and I do want to thank you all for just being here with me. And this truly is the end. But thank you guys so much, and please don't forget to stay healthy, stay safe, stay lovely, and stay loony. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in episode 6.